Welcome to Constantly Connecting Humanity 360. And on the panel tonight is Pam Dai, Forever Tai Chi, and myself, Dan Tracy, Martial Arts in Motion. And we're going to be talking with Dawei Li. All right. And Dawei has been practicing martial arts for over 30 years, various disciplines. And we're focusing tonight on martial arts and healing modalities associated with martial arts. He's come up with a really nice program utilizing rings as a way to connect with people and for people to connect with each other. And we're going to hear about that tonight. I'd like to go ahead and send it over to Dawei.
So the Fu Krew, Fu is Chinese for happiness and good fortune. And so the Fu Krew is an ever-expanding group of people who are using martial arts, Tai Chi, Kung Fu, and other healing modalities to both improve their worlds and continue to reach out and create bigger, bigger communities of healing and growth.
We'd like to see what you have there with the rings. I'm not familiar at all how you apply them and how you use them. So pretend like I know nothing, which is pretty close.
Okay, so these were born out of the old school Chinese steel Kung Fu rings. So what they are is they started out as a ring, but now they're more ergonomically shaped so that they're easier to grip. And instead of being completely smooth, they have three facets on them so that you can do, of course, you can do various exercises where you're just using them as guides, but with the extra facets, like for example, if I'm doing Grand Tai Chi, instead of just passing by, the goal is to connect them and maintain that connection as I roll them down. So it requires a lot of extra mental and physical energy to maintain that connection. Because if you're not pushing hard enough, they slip. And if you push too hard, they slide off. Now, they can be used in more of a two-dimensional way up and down, but with these other facets, now you can add the 3D aspect, which greatly increases the difficulty level. So you can literally add these to any Tai Chi form. And the fun begins as far as the connection, where like a basic exercise is we just push and pull. So open up a little. We connect. So as he pulls back, I follow him. Then I pull back, he follows me. And one of the cool things that I discovered in doing this, one of my old clients was an 83-year-old man with Parkinson's. And this really helped me see how unbalanced his body was. Like, for example, because of the angle you can't see, Mateo's left arm is more pulled in. So this helps you see how the person's movement is either symmetrical or non-symmetrical. It really increases the ting or the listening skill because I have to feel into his body so that I'm not pushing him or leading him, but I'm following strongly enough so that we can maintain contact. Now that's basic. We take it up to another level. We push and pull at the same time. And with this, you can go as fast or as slow as you want. My goal is always slower because we're breathing deeper. Or we can go up and down. We're going to roll them right. So it's almost like they're a tire rolling against the ground. We're not doing this, that it's a continuous roll. And then we can come back to center. One goes up, one goes down. And when he gets a little unfocused, you can see how quickly. So these are for the ting and the listening and the mental skills. It really helps you tune in because you'll hear immediately if you're not staying in contact. So it really keeps that focus. Now, like for example, if we go to the outside facet, so open up more. So now we're coming up and around. Again, this one is so much more challenging because it's on a different angle. So your vector of force is pushing into, I mean, I guess you could say it's heading towards emptiness. So it's when you're direct on, it's easy to maintain that connection. But when it's here, now it's much easier to slide off. So it just takes it up to another level. And then go ahead and back up for a minute. Nope, in camera. So remember this one? So then we turn it more into a contact issue. So we're practicing more of a combat style.
You're still listening.
Infinite ways that we can play with these, and we've only began to tap the surface. So yeah, they're just a great little tool for really improving your focus. And if it's not someone else, you can be practicing it yourself and just really focusing in. And then you expand the movements. So now I'm bringing them back. So now I have to really be aware to keep them connected as I shift back. So now I'm pushing more into a stretch. So I have to be more conscious to keep them together as I extend out through that stretch. And in a situation like this, you know how typically one body part is more off balance than the other. So that'll give you an indication as you're rolling back which shoulder is more impinged or unbalanced or whatever. So it's just another way to really assess where you're at in the overall symmetry of your body. Softer and lighter and more ergonomic is working with Parkinson's patients. I'm working at entering into the autism market because, I mean, really for any brain issue, these are great because you're pushing past your normal parameters of what you think is possible. And it's, as you well know, in Tai Chi, it's all about the focus. And if we can get that person to focus more, we're expanding their brain on different levels. We're making new neural connections. And especially when we're doing cross-body patterning, now we're firing both hemispheres of the brain. So I can't prove this, but I can just about guarantee that if they studied this type of maneuvers and the cross-body pattern, they would prove that it raises IQ because now you're functioning on your whole brain. But Mateo and I were playing with this one day. So let's go ahead, and since we don't have a whole lot of room, so we're just in. So as he steps back, I follow him forward. Then I step back, and he follows me. Right. So you can see, obviously that one was a little bit more challenging.
Yes.
But because it's now not just moving the hands, now the whole body is coordinated. Because let's face it, even for people who have compromised balance and walking, even if we were just to do starting off in a stationary stance and just shifting forward and backward, that would be the next level, then stepping, and then ultimately we step more into Tai Chi patterns or 5-star stepping, where they're constantly pushing that boundary of their balance, their awareness, and ultimately their strength. So it's just, there really are no limits to what we can do with these things as we continue to have more students and play with them more. The ideas are just going to keep on rolling. We're still working on getting them into mass production. Right now, I have the 3D printed ones that a friend of mine is printing, so I do sell those. And if someone else is interested in getting something going, I'm happy to provide the file so that they can print them on their own. Because I don't want, people have said, oh, are you going to get a patent and do all that? No. For one, that's a whole big world that I don't want to enter into. I'm not a big fan of the legal system. But also, I want to have this more, I forget the term, not open market, but so that if people want to make them their self and even sell them to their friends, then we're creating financial pathways for other people, and through their efforts they're getting paid, and they're building the brand, and they're building the recognition. Because one of the ultimate goals is when somebody sees that little Fu Man, be it on a ring or a shirt or any of the other dozens of products we have in the works, that perpetrator who's looking for that easy victim is going to see the Fu Man and go, oh no, that's that Kung Fu style, I ain't messing with that. So literally just by having the product and having the logo, it's going to increase your level of safety.